You'll walk a lot today? I mean, yeah, full part of the journey here. Like Samuel, like if you can pick me up at a nice little Mercedes, S-Class cabriolet, feel free to do so. Like we'll cruise around the city together, look at some pretty sights. Whew. Good old tower right there. Mr. Golden and I said, yeah, these are still back from the GTR time. Yeah. Mr. Golden gave me, and I said, well, I don't know. If you don't want to respond to this question, feel free not to do so. But what do you think of the GTR time? Do you think, does it affect you somehow? Do you consider it somehow? I guess you probably weren't born there, or so you can only see the remnants of it. And since you grew up in it, you don't see the perspective, the reference point of having it there versus not having it there. So it's kind of hard to say, but yeah, interesting. But guys, yeah, I don't know. My biggest question, like I said, is still after the divide, West and East Germany, they have a bit of a different mentality, obviously, because of the policies in place. But I think before the divide, they used to be a little more together, not just recently, way back in the day, so interesting. And now, even though they're back together, there's still a divide, mentally. That's what I hear, at least. The Western mind and the Eastern mind here in Germany, they're not the same. That's what I hear. Black Silver said Kappa face, heart emoji. Yeah, Black Silver. Even in France, you have an area like that. Yeah, but I don't know. It's funny that exists. I just don't. Yeah, I think in principle, I don't think it'd ever look good. I really don't. I don't think there was a time ever when whoever proposed these designs said yo, what do you think about these designs? And they presented a Soviet bloc. I don't think anyone at any time said, yeah, that looks good. I don't think they did. Because it's just generally, not on a time scale. Not on a time, it's just generally a bad design, I think. So, yeah, seeing that, I don't like it myself. Okay, let's head this way. I think we're heading across the river again. Mishno says, time to do doner kebab. I've been thinking about that, Mishno. The thing is, I don't eat kebab. I wanted to comparison Swedish, kebab versus Germanic kebab. But the thing is, I don't eat Swedish kebab either, so I have nothing to compare it to. The only thing that I purchase or buy is the chicken kebab in a wrapped format. So I can kind of compare that, but that's not the style of the show, So we'll see. Right now we're, like usual, positioning ourselves to go over to McDonald's, and there's also going to be possibly going to be a Christmas market visit. What a cool show, We'll see if that going to come to fruition, but yeah, I don't know. Yo, Mr. Iceman7 says, hey, good for work. Hey, Mr. Iceman7, what's up? Yo, good to have you here, man. What's up? Look at this little street right here. Guys, this is nice. This is kind of what you expect to see, from a European country. Yeah. Taking a holiday, that's right. We're here holidaying at the Wazoo. Today's the only day that will be streaming. Up until the 26th, I'll be just be spending time with my family, here in Germany, away from Berlin, in a smaller town, 3 hours away from here. But today we've got the whole day to ourselves, a buffer day, if you will. And so we're here in the city, walking about, exploring. I've never been to Berlin; it's my first time, and yeah. Walking around here, seeing what we can discover. Did you pass through the door? You mean like the big monuments with the horse on top? The one? Like with a big street below it? Yeah, if you mean that one, we've been through it, We've been through it. And right now I'm trying to get to the thing that was past that, the monument, like the little, thing. And then there's like a pillar, and on top of the pillar, a golden altar sits, from RGB lights, boys. What is this?